And welcome to the 5-Star Dynasty Podcast Live, episode 113, the Dynasty / Redraft Finale. I am Tomcat, this is Pip. How you doing, buddy?
You know, hitting the gym, taking a little break. Not much of a break, but like not paying attention to football, really. You know, before I hit it hard, you know?
Yeah, I am very, very, very happy with how that Super Bowl went. Now, I am not an Eagles fan by any means, but I am definitely not somebody who wanted to see a Chiefs three-peat.
Oh no, God no! I'm definitely on that. Now they're still not as good as the Patriots yet. They got a long way to go, but they're gonna probably lose some pieces. Who knows? They might even lose a coach. We'll see.
I will say, before we get to anything, a lot of people out there, you talk shit to me. I did it in the 2 minutes. I'm so sorry. You talked crap to me. You said all this stuff about how the Chiefs are going to win. The Chiefs are going to do this. They're just going to rule for it. Full shade. In fact, what's that?
What is that? What's this noise in my ears? Just relax.
Oh, Chiefs. I cannot stand you. Cannot stand all the how. It's just like how the Patriots were. There was no Patriots fans barely, and all of a sudden there was so many. Oh, what happened now? Let's see if you stick around with another loss. An embarrassing one at that. Let's see what happens if you stick around when you guys are losing all your pieces. Let's see if you stick around if that line loses anything. Oh, I just can't wait.
I think it's they got a lot of work ahead of them, but I feel like it's they can do it. They're gonna want to. They have Mahomes, so people are gonna want to go play with Mahomes.
Listen, it's true. I just have to enjoy this while I can. Shout out to the two people who left the second I played music and laughed about the Chiefs losing, and we literally we lost two people immediately, dude. It's only two people, but it's just funny. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Well, all seriousness, Patrick Mahomes will be fine for fantasy. They'll still have Rashee Rice coming back. He'll probably get a suspension, but Xavier Worthy looked great. As bad as they look,
wow.
If you got stocks of them, you're happy. You got to be. Yeah.
Absolutely. And now it looks like Kelsey's looking at either getting cut or retiring.
I don't think so.
I don't see them re-signing him. He didn't do good at all this season. Awful season, awful playoffs.
Is he a free agent?
He is not. He is owed his. If they cut him now, it's only $2 million. If they cut him before June 1st or whatever, if they designate him to be one of those people cut, it's only like $2.5 million or something like that.
Won't happen.
And they'll save way more than that.
It won't happen.
Maybe if they bring in T. Higgins instead.
Unless it's a tight end, they're not going to get rid of Kelsey.
Kelsey's not a tight end. He doesn't block.
He still plays in that slot, though, is what I'm saying. He's there. They think of him like a cheat code of them getting another receiver on without having too many wide receivers on the field. He gives the illusion that he's going to block, and everybody knows he's not going to, but they still treat it like there's a chance he could. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, but that's not a tight end. Tight ends, you knew they were coming to block you majority.
Well, listen, Evan Ingram's not a tight end, but he still plays in the tight end slot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, but they're not like a true tight end. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, you're not getting an argument out of me. I know they're not a true tight end.
Put that into context when they're talking about him being like the best tight end ever.
But they already have. I know, but they already have tight ends they can throw in for blocks if they need that.
Kittle's better than him, in my opinion.
Kittle should have had a way better career if he just wasn't injured so much. And it's because he
plays
plays so hard.
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah. And it sucks because, like, the way he plays and what makes him so good is what makes it so it's so hard for him to last.
But it's going to be interesting to see, some of these guys that get cut, too, after all this. Free agency is right around the corner. So the draft is right after that.
Yep. The draft is the 27th this year of April. I don't know. Yep. Our rookie draft, sorry. Our rookie drafts are the 27th this year. The actual NFL draft is 24 to 26.
Oh, wow. It's earlier, right? I feel like it was like May 1st last year.
It was. It goes different years because I remember a couple years ago it was the 26th because the 26th is my buddy's birthday. So that's what helps me remember. Like every couple years it's on his birthday, and every couple years it's in early May, a week before mine. So, yep, it alternates within a week of each other usually.
So yeah, that's going to be interesting. I want to see what happens in free agency, and then you can kind of see where the teams might go in the draft. I did I was bored at work because I would have to wait on customers and whatnot, so I just started doing a mock draft on the NFL mock draft simulator because it lets you do trades, but you got to make it even before it lets you push it through or whatever. So I did a mock draft for like 3 rounds today. It was fun. So I can't wait to do something like that.
You loved doing that last year.
Yeah, and then I like to do that, and then do a draft off, like a mock draft off of that draft we do. So could be interesting.
I'll do some episodes like we did last year. I think we did that before we went live. I think we did that when we were a pre-recorded show. But we'll do that this year. We'll get some maybe we'll get some listeners in there too.
Yeah, join the mock draft. Well, I'd rather have it like that too, because then it's actually people picking.
Instead of yeah.
I'm sure we can get a few guys to jump in.
I think we can fulfill the whole thing if we have enough notice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. This will be the last episode. Obviously, you see the title. It'll be the last episode of this first season. All our episodes are titled 1. Whatever it's been, and we'll enter in season 2. It's not really anything different. It's just like a significant landmark that each football season we want to have a different season. No other shows mark their episodes like that I know of, so we want to be different and do it like that. We will get more episodes in next year though, especially because half our episodes were pre-recorded, so they didn't count toward this number.
But it was a crazy Super Bowl. Like, I did not see the Eagles just dismantling the Chiefs at all.
Yeah, me either. But you know what it is?
That's exactly what happened. And the end score those 22 points are like gifts.
So, on paper, I actually thought it would make sense for the game to look like that. If you were putting them into Madden, if you were doing whatever in the ratings, you'd think that would make sense. Now, the actual game, I agree with what you said. I expected it to be a lot closer. I said in the podcast, I expected a lot of ref shenanigans. Listen, I heard all week that there was like 1 or 2 refs specifically that were very, very notorious for defensive play calls. Defensive flags, rather. That being said, they called them on the Chiefs. So it's like, it wasn't a biased thing. It was almost like the refs came together and said, we cannot call bullshit for the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah. But I don't think it was, dude. Eagles didn't need no help, honestly.
No, they didn't.
That defensive line destroyed that offensive line.
And they got Graham back, too. They got Graham back just in time for the Super Bowl.
Wasn't even, dude. Josh Sweat was all over the place, just throwing people around. It was disgusting.
Sweat, Carter, and Graham was out there first time since injury. I mean, it was good, and I hate admitting that because they're Eagles. But
the kid that had the pick 6, Like that was into my eyes, that was the end of the game right there. Like that's where you knew it was over.
Oh, I would say this. You're never gonna see this. You're never gonna see this. But the girl that's getting interviewed bragging about how I dated Cooper DeJean and I cheated on him and blah blah blah. You are a pig. Anyways, so if that's what you pride yourself on, you're going nowhere in life. Anyways, so back to football. So it was a good game. They did a really good job preventing Saquon from having a really good game. You know, I thought there was a chance Saquon was going to get a 2 or 3 touchdown game and be the MVP, but they decided, hey, if we're losing, it's through Jalen Hurts.
I missed my parlay because I had Kelsey and Saquon and for touchdowns, and they were like,
hey!
In my eyes, that was like a lock. You know what I mean? And they both got taken out of the game completely.
Looks like we got Pete. And we got Griff, which I'm pretty sure that's Zip. Ziploc Baggins. Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right, Griff?
I actually watched that whole thing too. I didn't watch the award thing. I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm going to bed. I got to work in the morning. But I watched the whole game. Yeah, I couldn't believe that Pat Mahomes wasn't going to come back from that game. You know what I mean? It was unbelievable to watch. It really was.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. It was as dominant as it was, and as you said, like even the garbage time, like they just pretty much put Kenny Pickett in for a little bit of the game. We're like, yo, Kenny, have some experience in the Super Bowl. Have fun, kid.
That was great.
Don't mess it up too much. And you know what? We don't want him ruin any rushing stats of Jalen Hurts. So you're actually going to take all these. You're going to take these kneels because we don't want to take any yards from him.
Oh, dude, I was so mad when they pushed that first touchdown.
What?
I was like, why couldn't you just give me that Saquon touchdown right there? That was the perfect time to get a Saquon touchdown. I knew it was going to be a push though. I was like,
yeah, I saw somebody's video. And he made a joke saying that the best way would have been if it was a really close game, and that the way it was decided was via tush push, and that the Chiefs complained so much that the tush push got banned, and then we got denied a 3-peat by the Chiefs, and the tush push gets banned all in one motion.
I just really, I really want to see Josh Allen win a championship. I don't know. It's really hurting me, like that he can't get over the hump because he's got to go through Mahomes.
Yeah, but who knows if he will be? You know, he'll have to deal with that next year.
Yeah, but he'll probably have to deal with Cincinnati too.
Cincinnati is absolutely having a better year next year.
No, 100%. Absolutely, yeah. So,
I just hope Josh Allen doesn't get so frustrated. I'm pretty sure he's Buffalo for life, but I hope he doesn't get so frustrated trying to get a championship that he's like, well, screw this. I'm going to the NFC because they have like no good quarterbacks compared to the AFC.
But yeah, I hit on over carries for Hurts.
Oh yeah.
What else was it? Hurts interception and Mahomes over rushing yards, I think, which was like 29.
Yeah.
Hit that.
Yeah,
but I bet them all straight too. I bet them all straight too. So I at least made my bet.
That's funny. Griff said, "I want my parlays by hammering the under on Saquon and Kelsey." Worked.
I was just, I just figured that was like a lock, just a touchdown from each one. I know you could probably like limited yards, but I figured they both get in the end zone.
Yeah, well, and as sorry. I was telling Hitman to get back here because he was like the first person to comment, and then now he's not here. And I just went in the chat and I was like, "Yo, it was crazy in the Super Bowl how the garbage time and the stats made certain players look really good, but like realistically, they didn't have like Worthy, as we were saying earlier, had a really good game, but like
that's what it was. That's what it was. It wasn't whatever the other one was. The last one was a Worthy touchdown, anytime touchdown.
Yeah,
I hit that. That was the other one I hit. Rough day at the office, but like I don't play with a lot. I don't bet a lot of money. I ain't got it, so. Can't bet it.
Yeah, I'm just happy. I mean, I never thought I'd be happy. Like it was, what's funny is the Philadelphia Eagles. Both times they won against teams that were winning too much. So I had to root for Philly. So it didn't hurt that bad. So like the first time they were versus the Patriots, and I was like, well, I don't want the Patriots to win again, and then they won. Or the Eagles won, and then when they went against I wanted the Eagles to win against the Chiefs both times, and then they finally won the second time because I just don't want the Chiefs to keep winning over and over and over. It's not even that I'm not even a hater. I just don't want the same teams to win over and over and over and over and over. It's really annoying.
But he's probably going to be there in the end anyway. They might have a down year next year, but they'll be back, and a down year, I mean, 11 wins.
Yeah. Well, I know Rashee Rice is going to be probably. No, Zip. I picked the Giants because I'm in New York, but I actually really like Buffalo now, but I already picked the Giants first, so I feel like I have to say I'm a Giants fan. But really, I'm a fantasy football fan above all, and my only game I've been to is my buddy had Green Bay versus Bills tickets, and I went to see the Bills. So, fantasy football, baby.
Whoop whoop.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Who were some of the guys you think are gonna not have a good year next year?
In what context?
All right.
We should go by position because I can't just have too broad.
Yeah, I will. At least give me a couple quarterbacks.
Let's start tight end. Tight end, I think I will never touch Mark Andrews again. I think he's going to get cut from Baltimore because they save a bunch of money to cut him, and Isaiah likely had a good year.
Yeah, I would say I would stay away from Jonnu Smith next year. I don't think that's going to continue.
Okay, this is my opinion on Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
Everywhere that I have him, I'm okay having him and seeing if it works out because I pretty much either got him off waivers or got him from nothing. And then if I am drafting new teams, I'm not touching him. Does that make sense? I'm agreeing with you, but I'm not panicking I'm not giving away or dropping the shares that I already own him because this is a dynasty show. So there's a good chance that somebody had him here as their tight end 3 or 4, and he just happened to work out. He's if you have Evan Ingram and Jonnu Smith, you better hold on to Jonnu Smith,
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was getting at. I wouldn't.
Don't treat him like he's going to be Cole Kmet the other year.
He's not going to be. I'm just saying he's not going to be as productive as he was this year at all.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying he's not going to be remember Cole Kmet that one year when he had a really good year and then everybody drafted him super early the next year and then he didn't do anything for 2 years? And we don't want Jonnu to be like that.
Well, yeah, I agree. He's already getting long in the tooth, too. He's not like a spring chicken anymore.
Yeah, but you know me, man. When it comes to Dynasty, I have to answer, I agree with you for redrafting. Not redraft, but drafting new leagues. Startups, I should say. But I definitely am not going to panic where I already own him. Because where I own him personally, he's my tight end 2 or 3 or 4. So I'm okay,
Yeah.
See if it repeats. Gotta tell the kids that. I don't want to tell our fans to. Somebody's watching this and they're a newer player and they hear us say not to trust Jonnu and they go and drop him or trade him for a 3rd round pick.
I just say don't expect him to have a year like he had this year, and I didn't expect him to have a year like he had this year either. So.
Oh, who did? Didn't I?
Yes. Yep. Okay.
Anyways,
I also think Jake Ferguson is also not going to have such a great year next year. I feel like they're going to bring in another wide receiver of better quality. To go play
maybe, but I would agree with that to a certain extent. But I'm not going to panic until they actually make the move, because last year Jerry Jones gassed us all up and said how they were really going to hammer for a top level running back, and then they they went with Rico, and Zeke. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but now
Man,
they don't even have a running back. So,
well, I think they're going to try to draft Jonty.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think they're going to wait too long on him. They think they're going to be able to wait a little longer than they actually can, and then they're going to
want him. They're probably going to have to trade up for him.
Yeah, I think they think they're going to get him in the mid-second or early mid-second. And I think he's going to go late first, early second.
I think he's going to go higher than that. I mean, just because
he's going to go later than earlier than late first.
Top 20. Yeah, I think he's going to go top 20.
I guess when I say late, I'm only talking like 24 and on. So we're only 4 picks off from each other. So I can see that. We're not that far off. I think we're arguing, green apples to red apples at this point.
Yeah, but I'm saying he could go from, like, we'll say like 6 to 20. Like, that's where I'm at.
I don't think any of the teams that early need him, and I don't think the Cowboys are going to take him in the first round.
Raiders.
Oh, the Raiders will be no. Raiders are pretty early though. They need a quarterback.
They're 6. What if they bring in Sam Darnold or something? They still got free agency. Oh, he froze on me. But anyway, yeah, like if they don't draft a quarterback, well, I'm saying he's not going to go. I don't know. I'm firmly saying that he's going to go from like 6 to 20, anywhere in between there. He's back.
Maybe. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Sorry, it's snowing really bad. For whatever reason, I was trying to
like people like they could be drafted like even the Bears, like say they trade back and take him or something like that. You know what I mean? Like a lot of teams need running backs that are high up there, and there's not many guys offensively to pick from this year that are like top tier players.
So you think he's that good?
I don't think he's that good. I think people think he's that good.
Damn it! All right, I was trying to set you up. Yeah, I think he's going to go early, too. I'm the one who grabbed him in a ton of Devy leagues way before everybody was on his nuts, so I was trying to hype him up and then be like, yeah, I was on him first! And then you didn't fully bite, but it's okay. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, no, I do think he's going to go early. I'm big.
Oh, he did it again.
What the fuck?
Yes. All right, you're back again.
Yeah, sorry guys. It's snowing here, so I'm dealing with a little bit of. If I pop in and out, I think I'm fine now. But
got a little dusting over here.
Well, put it this way. It's so bad that I'm connected with an Ethernet cable, and it's fine now, but every once in a while I'm getting the Wi-Fi bar on my thing, which means it's like I don't even like my service is flashing in and out. But I'm connected hardwire, so there's no reason it would do that. But anyways, yeah, I do think Jonty. I think
it's deep, but it's not as deep as it was supposed to be because some kids went back to school.
Yeah. As I take a little bite of peanut butter. Sorry. But yeah.
Singleton went back to school. Now he was supposed to be a big one.
I think Singleton went back to school because he thought it was too deep of an RB year and he didn't want to be lost in the shuffle.
I mean, Ollie Gordon's in the class.
Yes.
He could be a real big value because he had a bad year last year, but that year
and the year before he was so good because both of us were high on him in Debbie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are some good ones that are coming out, like Henderson, Judkins.
Remember Judkins? I was like huge on him.
Yes. Yeah.
And him and Henderson are both good.
Oh, okay, Scadaboo. Yeah, I like him.
Oh, I like him too. Good call.
That was P wants the Bears to get Scadaboo.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're a dark horse to trade back and take Genty.
Is Neal going back to school? Devin Neal?
No, I think he's in the draft.
I think he's in the draft, yeah.
But
we know what
some other running backs that went back that were very surprising. Like a lot.
Yeah, but there's already, even with the running backs going back, there's still enough. Like Pete was saying, they're saying it's a deep class. There's enough running backs where some of the running backs we like, even if they don't fully lose their job, they're going to become running backs by committee.
I mean, but they also said like these. You never really know. These guys don't know. We're listening to it. It's entertaining. It helps us have something to talk about. But really,
I agree.
They don't know shit about.
No, I agree.
They're thinking.
I agree because there are teams that we think they want a certain thing, and then they're not. They look at somebody, and all 32 teams don't think somebody is ready for the pros, and we all think they look good. You know what? I really thought. Look at Benson. That's a good point. You know what?
Yeah,
what's a really good one is
that whole draft class.
Do you guys remember Mike Barnes?
No.
So he was this guy. He was this guy that a couple of analysts were really hyping up, and he literally didn't get drafted. Went on like the practice squad of the Titans, and then got cut. He was like a nobody. And like he was like in the draft process, he got hyped like hard, like so bad. And he had a good college production, but just some people just don't work out.
But yeah, like last year's draft class, Bucky Irving was good, but he wasn't like maybe.
No, Bucky Irving's good.
These 5. I'm saying like coming out, like nobody expected him to be like that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yes.
But like that's what I mean. The class, these people don't know what the hell they're talking about. It all depends on what situation they landed in, if they get used the right way. It all depends on a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, because look at like Hitman said, look at Trey Benson. Trey Benson got hyped like crazy, and then all of a sudden it's looking like Connor's probably going to get another like 1 or 2 year contract. They're going to probably just keep giving him cheap contracts. He's just happy to play football. Like at this point, it's like he's pretty realistic. He got a good sized contract that he probably invested his money or like did well enough with money. Now he just needs to stack up little mediocre to veteran minimum, whatever it is, to play football still. Like, you know what I mean? He's getting that age. But that being, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Tight end. Okay. I am not touching Njoku until I know that Deshaun Watson's not the quarterback.
He's not the
quarterback.
In fact, he was Achilles.
If every single person can please buy Njoku off me while he still has some value, get a hold of me. I am so set on the Browns, dude. I don't want anything to do with the Browns right now in fantasy.
I don't know. I don't like Chubb. Seems like he wants to stay, but he's going to have to take a pay cut.
Chubb is somebody who has my respect for life, though. I'm never going to cut him, and I'm never going to sell him for pennies. He's not worth enough in a trade for me to justify trading him. So he's one of those guys, kind of like Julio Jones, where I just respect him, and he rides off into the sunset. If he's a flex for the rest of his career, or if he just sits on my bench, whatever happens, he stays until he retires. I respect Chubb too much to just throw him away like garbage. So, yeah.
But yeah, by tight ends, Ferguson. I really don't. They're gonna bring in another wide receiver. Who was my other one? Oh, Jonnu.
You know who I'm fading?
There's one more I was thinking. Mother effing Kyle Pitts is dead to me.
Yes.
Dead
I was going to say that.
Me.
I was going to say, for me, no matter whatever happens with Kyle Pitts, even if he randomly has a good couple games, I don't care. I don't want to touch him. One I want to fade, one I really want to fade personally. It's going to hurt people's feelings. It's going to really hurt people's feelings. Evan Ingram. Now, if I own Evan Ingram, I'm riding him till he dies. It is what it is. But I'm not drafting any new Evan Ingram because even as injury prone as he is, he just goes too high in startups. Even to this day, I looked today at where he's going in startups, and I forgot what his ADP was, but it was way, way earlier than I would want to spend on him. That being said, we play in tight end premium, so he went a little bit higher because I looked up in that scoring. But still, I'm fading him this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, there's a nice crop of tight ends coming out too. So
yeah, and Brendan Strange had some good games here or there. Now, am I ever going to trust him again? No. But is he enough to threaten Evan Ingram's consistency? Yes.
Yeah. And Brian Thomas is there, and who knows? They'll probably bring in somebody else. So.
Brian Thomas, I love. You know that. We both love Brian Thomas. Yeah, one more. There was one more tight end that I was fading. It was for Dynasty. Guys, Taysom Hill. If you can deal him for anything, if you picked him up on waivers, if you've had him for 7 years on your roster, whatever your situation is, you need to sell him because I read a thing today that he's a pretty hefty cap hit. And there's a good chance coming with a torn ACL, like he could be cut. I mean, look at what his cap hit is if you want to go to the next position, or if you have another tight end, up to you.
No, I did have another tight end other than Pitts, but I did think of Pitts immediately. You already said Andrews. I agreed with that. Kelsey is obvious. Kincaid, yeah. I probably would want to, yeah. Thanks, Hitman. You just gave me my guy. Kincaid. I'm not drafting any more of him either. I'll hold on to the ones I have in hopes of it being a good thing. But I'm not drafting any more in startups. No way.
Yeah, I could see what Hitman said too. I could see Taysom Hill getting cut and then getting signed by the Broncos because Sean Payton loves him.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't. If I was the Saints, they're going to be losing a lot of pieces. That team's going to be really bad next year.
His cap hit this year is $18.2 million.
Yeah, he's going to have to restructure or get bounced.
His dead cap is 17, dude.
Oh no, then they got to keep him.
They got to keep him. So they might trade him then. I take that back. I didn't know his dead cap was so high. They're going to either try to restructure him and kick it down the road like they've been doing for years and years, or, like you just said, they're going to try to trade him because he's just... Yeah, I didn't know his dead cap was that high. I knew his cap hit was 18, and they weren't going to like that. I did not know his dead was 17.
That's
wow.
Nice. I can't believe they paid that guy all that money.
Let's move to... Let's go quarterback fades next. Because the other positions just have way more players. Easy for me for my number one, if you want me to start. We can go 1 for 1 if you want.
I'm going Dak. I'm not getting any more. I think, yeah, he's dead to me.
Okay.
I don't like him anymore.
Dak's not dead to me. Dak is in that the middle position that I keep describing every time you bring somebody up. I agree with you on grabbing new things, but I'm not giving away for nickels. I'm not like trading him for nothing. I'm not cutting him. I'm not trading him for like a rookie quarterback that I don't know what he can do. But I'm not drafting any new shares of him. So I do agree with you, but only to that extent. My next one was literally one that Hitman just said. It was Jared Goff. I do not want to talk about the Goffense anymore. I don't want to do whatever. I already have enough share. I have so many shares because there was so many years where Jared Goff wasn't a mediocre to like he would have some QB 1 weeks or he would always end the year QB 10 to 15 or something like that. And I just think that I don't want to touch him. Hitman said in the chat again. I mean, I want to bring this stuff up, but I gotta give him credit because he's saying the same thing I'm about to say. They lost their OC. I mean, am I still gonna have shares of Amon-Ra and Jameson Williams? Of course, but I have so many shares of Jared Goff from when he was a mediocre QB2 that I just grabbed him in like the late teen rounds, and I own him in Dynasty. That I have no desire of grabbing any new shares, and I would never trade for him. So yeah, Jared Goff is my fade.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I'm not drafting any new Patrick Mahomes.
Not at where he's gonna go.
Yeah, he's always gonna go high.
If he drops like he should, then I might get some pieces of him. But if he stays up as like near the 1, like 1 to 5, the dude can't get over could barely stay in the top 10. Yes, stop stealing my next guy.
Don't say it. Don't say it. I won't say anything. It's not mine, so I won't steal. Don't worry.
But yeah, so and on the Dak thing again, I wanted to say I forgot to add this. They don't have any money to help that team. They're so screwed cap wise, and they're so screwed like draft.
I heard they're going to try to get rid of Micah Parsons.
They can't afford him.
Yeah. So, my second one. My huge fade is very obvious, and we all should have known it this year. We all believed in the accuracy. We all believed in all these guys who had the amazing plays after catch. We had all these reasons to believe in the Shanahan offense. Brock Purdy is one of my number one fades. He hurt me in so many leagues because I barely had him in Dynasty, but I grabbed him in a ton of redraft leagues, because in the money leagues, he was like the last good quarterback, quote unquote, that would fall. And I kept grabbing him thinking it was going to, and then I paired him a couple times with Ayuk, who ended up obviously doing bad, then getting hurt. So yeah, my big fade is easy Purdy. There's a chance Ayuk doesn't come back in time. There's a chance they get rid of Debo. I mean, I do like.
They've already given him permission to seek a trade. The Niners. He's already given Debo permission to seek trades because he wanted to be traded.
What happened? Debo?
Debo wants to be traded.
That's what I thought. I was reading what Hitman said. Sorry. Yeah, no.
I just gave him permission.
So there you go. And then as much as I love Kittle, he's just like, you never know if he's going to be consistent or if he's going to be injured every week. So, and he's one of those guys who plays injured and then plays as a decoy. I don't like that. That's a huge no-no in fantasy. Julio Jones was my first ever fantasy pick, and I love him. But there was a dozen games where he admittedly went out there to be a decoy because they knew he would draw 2 people away. And then Mohamed Sanu would come out and have a game. Yeah. Yeah, so, no, I don't like that. Not when we're talking fantasy.
After he dudded on the Patriots. And they were like, you got to go, buddy. And they spent like a 2nd-round pick on him or something like that, or 3rd-round pick for the trade. Too.
Sanu?
Disgusting. Yeah, it was disgusting.
It was a 2nd round.
That was garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Yep.
I remember doing that trade, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I was flipping out. Give him a 2nd-round pick for that piece of garbage.
Yeah. I will say he said it's a good name to throw out. And speaking of, Mohamed Sanu is one of the most accurate quarterbacks as far as like a wide receiver at the quarterback stat. Most of his, I think all but one throws are touchdowns or something like that.
Definitely not Jameson Williams.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Who's your next and final QB fade? We'll do 3 for tight end, 3 for QB, and then we can do 5 for the other positions because they're so deep.
Kyler. I bought in last year and a year prior, and I'm not really seeing my return on investment for Kyler. I don't think he's he's got the weapons. I just don't feel like they can keep him in the pocket to make throws. The dude's average. I'm not giving up on him. I like Trey McBride, and I think Marvin Harrison's going to do better this year. He is the definition of mid. Totally agree.
No, the definition of mid is Drake May, but
you wish.
So my fade. Are you done? Sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. I want to make sure before I went into mine. I don't agree. I'll just say that I don't agree. I like Kyler still. I think I'm going to give him another shot this year. Am I going to? I own way too many shares for me to justify grabbing him in any new leagues. But hey, look at! I didn't even notice he said that. He literally just said the same thing. Yeah, I'm giving him one more year before I give up because I think a year or two, Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride is really good. Dude, Trey McBride did that good with like no touchdowns. He had a fumble recovery touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and 1 receiving touchdown as far as I know. So
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like I watched him play. I can't. He's not seeing the field right. He's something wrong with him. Oh. That's all I'm saying.
Oh. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. So wait. So you don't think there's any chance, or are you just fading him?
I'm just fading him. I mean, he could go off, do whatever.
That's fair. I thought you were completely saying he sucks. He can't do anything.
No, I just don't think he's not gonna produce his draft capital. I'm not.
Well, yeah. Person I'm fading more than anybody else is somebody who I faded last year accidentally. I faded him last year because he was going too high for me. Even though he had stacked wide receivers, he still was going too high for me. He's a pocket passer. He had to have like record-breaking numbers to justify to go as high as he was in dynasty leagues. CJ Stroud is a clear fade for me. I faded last year, and I'm fading this year. And I hate to repeat on one of mine because I faded on him last year. I can't justify spending what it takes. Even with him probably going later than he went last year, he's still going to go, depending on what they do in the offseason. And like the fact is, Nico's good. So people are still going to remember that, and they're going to forget how bad his numbers are. Listen, some of the worst, I'll leave it on this before I let you comment on it. Some of the worst fantasy quarterbacks you can possibly play supply numbers to some really good wide receivers. And all you do is remember those wide receivers and how much they helped your team. And you forget how bad the actual quarterback was. The quarterback, if he gets no touchdowns and he throws 107 yards to your guy, yeah, your guy's going to look awesome. He has 7 catches for 107 yards. Yeah, it's awesome. You have 17.7 points if you're in regular PPR and you're happy. But we're not remembering that guy got 5.6 and 3.2, and you know what I mean? Like you can't rely on that, especially how high he goes. So,
well, my thing is, they just fired the coordinator.
Yep. So he has to learn a new system.
Exactly. So I agree, but he's still too young to be like, eh.
No, I said fade this year.
I'll fade this year. Okay.
I did not stay forever. I own many shares of him. Yeah. No, I own many, many, many shares of him. You know that I was big on him over Anthony Richardson and over Bryce. Obviously over Bryce Young, but yeah, I was a big CJ Stroud guy. I'm just saying, I have to be honest with the people listening to this podcast. If you're in a startup, you need to not. If you want to take a risk, you can, but I just would not advise taking him in a startup, because even though he's going to go later than he went last year, he's still going to go at a spot where you could get probably a really good guy. Most of the people listening to the show,
Stafford might not even be a Ram.
He's going to be a New York Giant.
Season. So
he's going to be a New York Giant. Didn't they hire his brother-in-law?
Something like that. That's what the rumors are.
Yeah, they're going to trade for Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp.
The twofer, huh?
It would be funny because they openly told Cooper Kupp that he's going to be traded. He can go seek a trade. So it would be really funny if they traded for both of them. And then Matthew Stafford had Cooper Kupp and Malik Neighbors.
Seems like they're tearing it down a bit. Maybe they're trying to free up some money so they can sign some big people in free agency or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm starting to read a lot of, like, originally it was like, oh, which quarterback are the Giants going to go with, this and that. And then I read other stuff that's like the Giants aren't really too impressed with the quarterbacks there, and that they almost would rather trade back. And that if they can sign a veteran quarterback for a year or two just to see if it would work, they could trade their I think it's a 103. They could trade the 103 back for not as much as a 101, but a 101 or 102.
I think I did when that mock draft I did a trade. I only did one trade, and it was the Giants and the Jets. The Jets trading up to 3 to take Shedeur Sanders.
And where are the Jets at? Are they at like 7?
Yeah.
That was a complete guess. I shouldn't have even said anything and just like made it seem like I know, but I only know what the Giants are right now. But yeah, I don't think these quarterbacks coming out right now are good enough. If I'm the Giants, I think there's more value in getting a veteran quarterback and then trading back to get multiple firsts. It'll be the 103, so it obviously won't be as much as like the 101 or 102, but like if the 101 and 102 are like Travis Hunter and another guy that's not whoever wants to trade up for, they're going to still pay the same amount they would pay up for the 101 because it's still their guys right there. So you never know. I think that would.
I had them taking Abdul Carter because they're going to trade Miles, so they need to replace him.
Okay.
Yep. And I had them take Jackson Dart in the second instead.
Listen, really quick about Pete, what you're saying right there when you said Goff. It's just Geoff. When Goff won me a chip, yeah, that's true, man. You win chips with bad quarterbacks, though. We have thrash ball leagues, and I lost. I lost Dak as my quarterback, and Daniel Jones lost his job. So my starting quarterback for the remainder of the year was Mac Jones after Trevor Lawrence went down off my taxi squad because we have them as practice squads. And yeah, man, you can win some. We can win with some pretty bad quarterbacks. So I just wanted to say that on that. I wouldn't want Goff. I wouldn't want Goff. So, Miles is leaving. For sure. No. Miles is going to leave, but the stipulation is going to be that the new team has to pay for whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's what it'll be. They're just not going to do one of those trades where they trade the person away and then still pay them. They're going to be like, hey, if you want this guy, you have to trade this, or you have to pay for this amount. In my opinion. If they trade him, they're going to try to trade him to the NFC. They're going to try to trade him to the NFC. They do not want to trade him within conference.
Sign a new deal.
So that'd bring us to either running back or wide receiver, whatever one you want to do first. I'll give you the choice since I picked last.
Oh, so we're moving on to what, running back?
Yep.
All right.
Running back or wide receiver, whatever you want to move on to.
No, we'll go running back. I mean, I don't think Isaiah Pacheco is going to be any good. Kareem Hunt was out playing him.
You stole my first one I was going to do because you already know I'm not big on him. Come on!
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. He was doing really good, and then he broke his leg, and then he sucked. So,
well, then he came back, and like even when he was trying, like listen, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but it truly felt like Kareem Hunt was a better fit for the last whatever amount of weeks. Obviously, in the Super Bowl it didn't work out, but like all throughout the playoffs, like whether Pacheco was there and when Pacheco wasn't there, Kareem Hunt looked way better than Pacheco.
He's getting more yards, that's for sure.
Yeah,
like Pacheco runs hard, but he doesn't have great vision.
That's what it is. He runs really hard, but then he'll run like he's like somebody in Madden when they don't have good vision, like you said in the stats, and you're just like you're running hard and like barreling into people, but like you're running into the first person you see, almost like a magnet, like going into people. Whereas Kareem Hunt actually tries his hardest to like go around him at least. I do agree that with the chat that it takes a little bit to get back from that injury, but that being said, I'm still low on him this year.
You got to remember where he was drafted too. Like he was a 7th round pick. Like
I think he's a 5th.
Pretty sure he was 7th.
I'm gonna look that up. Only because the fans want to know, not because I'm trying to prove you wrong.
Sure.
No, I'm being serious too. I'm not being a smartass. I'm not being cunty. Let's see. Yeah, you're right. That's crazy. Who's a 5th round pick that I'm thinking of that was drafted? Huh.
Hunt was a 4th, I think.
The last late running back that I'm thinking of, I want to check before I say it out loud. I'm pretty sure I just mixed him up with another late. Let me double check. I think it might have been. No, it wasn't him. God damn it, that's gonna bother me. Either way, I was wrong.
I mean, I'm not. I don't be shocked if they take a more solid running back in this draft. That's all.
That's what my next point was gonna be. Is like they didn't pay anything for him, so like yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Good one.
I'm in on Jacobs, man. I'm not. He ain't dead yet, bro. He's gonna have a.
Sorry, had to look at that. Get my list out. My fades for this year. Well, you just took the first one I was gonna do. Obviously, I have a whole list. I was gonna fade 5 different running backs.
Damn.
Do you have enough where you could fade 5, even if I take some of yours? Because I have a lot of guys I'm just not big on this year.
Yeah.
That being said, don't be giving me crap if you see me in a draft and I take one of them, because if somebody's left and they're the best guy there, I still have to take them. I'm just not high on them. Trust me, there's a lot of guys I grabbed this year where I didn't like them, but if they were the best guy left, I was like, here we go. Trust me, there was a ton of times I didn't want to take like some of those damn like Ken Walker's a good example where like he'd be like the best guy there, and I'm like, well, clearly I have to take him. I know he's injury prone as fuck. All right, so my first on my list of my fades, I'm just gonna right off the bat before you can steal him. Christian McCaffrey. He's gonna go way too high. I'm one of those people who are in a million leagues. I already own him in leagues. I'm already going to be able to play him in leagues. I'm not missing out on anything. If it's a new league, it's a startup, it's a redraft, anything, I'm not touching him. He was injury prone for a couple of years. He came back for 2 years where he wasn't injury prone. He got everybody fooled. He's back to being injury prone again. He has a big year and you didn't get to get it and you missed out on it. It sucks, but it's better than what just happened to everybody who drafted him this year and had to pretty much not play fantasy football because of it. So, what do you think?
I agree completely.
His upside's not worth him being out for the whole year anymore. And now
he's already over the hump of age anyway.
Yes.
And now he can't stay healthy for a full season. So like really
and now he can't stay healthy. And it's the worst part is it's not just that he can't stay healthy, it's that it's constant injuries and it's different injuries. So now it's not even the same injury it's not like, for example, it's not like he's getting a hip injury and he's trying to come back and he keeps re-injuring his hip. It's he hurts his hip and then he comes back. This is a bad example. This isn't a real injury example, but I'm just giving you a rough example. He hurts his hip. He comes back. He hurts his ankle. He comes back after the ankle injury. He hurts his shoulder and his wrist. And then after he comes back, you don't know if he's going to play. He's going to play. He plays 3 downs. He's out. And then he's out for 3 weeks. Then you find out that he has an Achilles injury that you didn't even know about, and then he's out for another 8 weeks. Then he comes back and it's like, okay. And then you find out that he has an oblique injury, and it's like, dude, what? These are all different injuries. Like it's everywhere. This isn't one injury. There's injury prone, and then there's just like, because he's injury prone. Because there is people who have like a nagging injury. That's different. This is him. He's injured everywhere. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Knees and toes. So, all right, I'm done. Sorry. I had to say that.
All right, my next one is Ramondre Stevenson. It pains me, but he's got a new coach that's not going to all the...
you should let me roast him, but keep going.
All the fumbles and whatnot.
I agree with everything you're saying.
I feel like they're going to end up drafting a running back high this year, maybe in the 3rd.
I was so off him, and then you got me on him, and then right when I started, look at that, the end of draft season, I started draft. Like, I didn't grab him all off season, and then the end, right when redraft season was in peak. So I grabbed him in a bunch of redraft money leagues, and he fucked me over.
Oh, it was a rough year. But yeah, Steve.
I agree with everything. I mean, you can say more about him if you want. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Keep going.
Just because of the new coach, new OC.
Yep.
I don't think it's gonna last. Might be over. He's going to get cut for sure, I think. And if they don't cut him, he's going to be backup.
Yeah. No, he was going to be the first. So it's so funny because you named Pacheco, and I was originally gonna. Can I say the funny part? I was going to say Ramondre first, but then I thought he won't pick Ramondre because he's a Patriot, and he'll pick other people first, and I'll be able to sneak Ramondre second or third. Then I was like, okay, you pick Pacheco, who was going to be my first. And I was like, damn, I missed out on that. And then I obviously just said CMC because I didn't want you to steal that, thinking I would get Ramondre, and then you got my Ramondre right after that. So, but I agree with everything about Ramondre. My next would be.
I could be wrong. He could pull up to camp a whole new man and change what everybody thinks about him. But it's got to happen.
I agree. No, like he's definitely not. I've already said this numerous times, and I want to sound like I'm repeating myself, but he's not somebody you want to just give away for like a 3rd round pick or some crap. Like somebody's lowballing you, you don't want to get, or like somebody gives you like after the rookie draft, somebody wants to trade you a pick in 2026 and like a random 3rd or 4th round rookie that they grabbed on upside, or you'll be surprised what people try to lowball you with. Don't do something like that, but just don't grab them in new shares. Don't do it. My next pick would be Travis Etienne. I am totally off him. He might bring you flex value. He might bounce back. Who knows? The new coach literally said he's excited to get Brian Thomas Jr. 10 touches a game. Then he said, and I'm gonna paraphrase what he said. He said, "We know our skill guys. We know who to get stuff to. We need to get Brian Thomas Jr. 10 targets a game. We need to get Travis Etienne 5 to 20 touches."
I think he was on Valium for that fight because he screwed that whole press conference up.
It's possible. Listen, it's possible. But my point is, he said he wanted to get Hank Bigsby 20 touches a game, and he wanted to get Travis Etienne 20 touches a game. Now, if that is how it is, there's a chance that do you really want to draft Etienne as high as he's going to go? If there's a world, now don't get me wrong, I could be wrong. If there's a world where Tank Bigsby gets 15 to 20 on the ground, and then Etienne only gets 5 to 10 on the ground, and then a couple targets, or 5 or 6 carries, and then like 6 targets. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be value for how high he's going to go. I'm not saying trade him for nothing. I'm not saying I'm completely off him where I already own him. But in redraft, I keep saying redrafts, in startups, he is going to be way more expensive than he's going to produce. That's my issue.
I don't think so. I think he's going to be like the Bucky Irving.
No. Bucky Irving's going to go higher than... Bucky Irving's going to go really high, dude.
Rashad White. I mean, just all I'm saying, that he's coming from that offense. He's using that offense, that type of offense. They're both going to get work. Rashad White was a pretty good running back this year, even though he was mid. Stat-wise.
But yeah, so you can disagree on Etienne, but Etienne's I'm fading him. He just hurt me a lot this year. I'm fading him. I'm not interested. If he bounces back for the next year, cool. I own him in a ton of leagues, so it's like I'm not going to miss out on him, but I'm not adding to my shares. Definitely not trading for him.
This is going to be a little controversial. I mean, I think somebody already said it, but I was kind of pissed that they said it in the chat already. But I
already know who you're going to say.
I'm fading JT.
Yeah, I don't agree at all.
I just don't, because you don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to actually stick with Richardson?
No.
Are they going to bring in another like solid vet that's going to take the job away from him?
At the very least, I think Richardson is only going to get one more year. He has been really almost historically bad. He's very talented, but there's no way. They know they can't win with him stealing touches from Jonathan Taylor. He is going to have to get his shit together, and if he doesn't, they're going to replace him. Now, that being said, we are in a Dynasty podcast, so the reason I'm disagreeing with you is not 100% saying you're wrong. There's a chance that this year is a wasted year or a hurt year. Like, not hurt, but like it hurts you year for Jonathan Taylor, and you might be right with the fade. But that being said, there's also a chance he goes a little later in startups than he normally does because people are so worried about that. So I actually kind of want to see his ADP before I fully agree or disagree with that.
Well, what I want to look at before I disagree with you completely is I want to see the splits of when he plays with Richardson and when he plays with a back.
Yeah, we should do that in an episode. We should do that in an episode. We should pick out certain players that play, but because I'm sure it's more than just those two. There's certain players that play well when they're with certain players. Like, for example, Jamar Chase actually does better a lot of times with T. Higgins on the field because it takes away some of the coverage.
And then Higgins does better when Higgins does better when Chase isn't there.
Which yeah. Yeah, I will say I don't agree with. I mean, if you have anything else to add to it, I'm not off Jonathan Taylor yet. He's 26 years old. He has the contract. I think that this year might hurt you a little bit if Anthony Richardson is full time. But there's also a world where Anthony Richardson gets hurt, and then Jonathan Taylor has an awesome year because Anthony Richardson's not there the whole year.
I mean, how much his contract's got to be close.
I still have Spotrac up. Let me look it up real quick.
Dude, you know what I'm gonna do? I am going to set up my phone and I'm going to stream with you from my phone so I can have my computer and do stuff on it.
Why don't you just? Oh, you could do that, or you could just do the opposite and do stuff on your phone. Like I got you on my computer, but I'm looking at my phone right now.
Yeah, but then I'm always looking at the phone, like my face down,
Jonathan
my
Taylor.
top of my head. That's the view you get. No, I don't want to do that.
Jonathan Taylor is with the Colts until 2027. They can. They have a potential out in 26, but it's like 15 million. So like if he's still doing good, they're just gonna pay it.
They're gonna let ride him out. He's not bad enough, but they don't have.
Hey man. I'm gonna pull this up. If they benched him and signed Darnold, I'd be huge on Richardson. On Taylor. I think Richardson is horrible. I think he's not a quarterback. I think he's not NFL. I think I went off 3 different podcasts about this. NFL teams need to stop getting obsessed with athleticism and thinking that can actually be something. Tom Brady and a lot of other guys are not very athletic, and yes, they're pocket passers, and that's a bad example because they're trying to get the Lamar Jackson, blah, 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 blah. Lamar Jackson actually has skills throwing the ball. Josh Allen has actual skills. I know he wasn't as accurate at first. Regardless, the shades were there. There have never been any shades to Anthony Richardson. He's always been a 50 to 60% completion rate. Like he's not good. He's very athletic. If you wanted to put him as a big running back, as your big running back too, that sometimes throws the ball, then sure, dude. Hey, cool. Awesome, man.
Taysom Hill.
Look for him. I was literally about to make a joke and be like, look for him if he wants to stay in the NFL. Look for him to be the next Taysom Hill, or look for him to be the next, like when Tim Tebow had to try out for tight end, or he's going to be the next quarterback who goes to tight end, or the next quarterback who does. I don't know what to do because he's not good, dude. And I'm sick of people acting like I'm an idiot for thinking that he's not good.
He's like Fields.
No, Fields is better than him.
He can run. That's what he can do.
No, Fields is better than him.
By marginal, we're talking.
No, not marginal. I look at the stats. He is so much better than him, and I'm not saying Fields is good. That's what I'm saying. Is Richardson is that bad? He's monumentally bad. Justin Fields is so much better.
Yeah, I was going to say he's Trey Lance bad.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Hitman. Anthony Richardson is just like Trey Lance, and I got crap for Trey Lance, and I got crap for Anthony Richardson. And a lot of people held me to the coals and really gave me a lot of crap for saying that they suck. And the NFL needs to stop drafting people who are just very athletic and then have barely any passing skill and barely any experience. Dude, Bo Nix did what he did this year because he is the most experienced college quarterback. The experience... Yeah, what's that?
He's like a 28-year-old rookie.
Dude, I think he's a 26 or something. But for real, though. I'm not saying you have to have as much as Bo, but the more experience you have, the better you're going to do. Jaden Daniels had actual really good experience. You know what I mean? Joe Burrow had a lot of experience. He went from OSU and then he went to LSU. It's like, dude, these guys had experience. Stop getting these guys who've played 7 games in high school. Some scouts saw them go off for 5 touchdowns in a game one time and then gave them a scholarship to East bumfuck Nebraska or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like some fucking random third-rate school.
Now that we have the transfer portal, in huge effect, and NIL, all that's going to change. Mm-hmm. These guys coming out young and not good enough, that's not going to happen. They're just going shuffling around, staying eligible for 8 years, and then they'll go back, come and play when they're ready.
Yeah, and both Trey Lance and Anthony Richardson had one starter year where they didn't even play every game, and it's just what's going on?
Jaden Daniels made N'Keal Harry and Brandon Ayuk first-round picks.
Yes.
As a freshman.
As a freshman.
In Arizona.
Yeah. Like, you just have experience. This is what we need. We need guys who have experience, guys who have actually put in the time. I don't like when a guy is hyped up for multiple years. This is the only thing I'm really noticing with Devy. As we play Devy more and as we draft Devy more, one of the things that bothers me is how hyped some of these guys get, and you draft them, and then a year later they're nothing, or they next thing you know they're a backup. I'm like a second-rate team. It's like they were,
or just completely out of college altogether.
Yes, yeah. I had a
oh shit, they failed out of college, so they can't play football anymore.
They can't play football anymore.
They failed like too many drug tests. They got kicked out of school. You know, like
it's real. Yeah.
They get in a fight, they get in a shooting or something. Like they could just end like that. Bam, over.
Well, like, you'll look at the Devy rankings, and there'll be a guy who's ranked like the number 5 or number 6 best quarterback out of all the Devy rankings, and you'll look at him, and you'll find out that he's thrown 5 passes for 17 yards or some shit. Not that that's way too bad, but like there'll be like 5 passes for like 67 yards, and it'll be like he barely threw anything and he has no touchdowns, but he had really good tape and he's behind this guy now, and in 2 years he's gonna be a starter. It's like, why is he the number 5 in the world? That doesn't make any sense. There's actual people who played. So Devy rankings piss me off. I gotta call him out on that. It's really hard to draft
because you can't really do anything about it because you're going off some guys high school.
You gotta use like 3 or 4 different ones. Yeah,
you're taking. It's a gamble anyway. Really,
just
going off basically where they're going off to college.
I go by where they went to college a little bit and the actual stats and like how they performed. That's how I got so big on Jonty, and I got big on him because we drafted all our Devy leagues before he went off and became what he became. So like I just saw he was good, and he was ranked like, depending on when you drafted, he was ranked like 8 to 15. Like there was a couple months where he was ranked pretty low compared to the other running backs, and I was just eating him up in the late second, early third in some Devys. And then obviously, once he started kicking it up with some hype, he started going in like mid and late first, and now he's in early first. But Devy's tough, dude. Devy's tough because how many times you got a guy and then all of a sudden it says that he had 3 catches on the year for 16 yards. I'm just like, what the hell? Jurian Dickey, I'm looking at you. Number 17 ranked one year, then the next year he has 3 catches for 17 yards or 16 yards or something like that. It's like, oh, cool. Thanks, buddy.
Trying to think of running back. Derrick Henry.
Oh, I'm on Derrick Henry until his wheels fall off. He's a freak. He's different. Nope. You said that last year, and you said that the year before too. Nope. Disagree.
Okay.
Guy, I want you to realize something too. The Ravens hurt their own player because they were selfish about the playoffs, and I get why they did it, but they held him back the first couple games, and he was at 1,900 and something yards. If they didn't hold him back, he should have had another 2K season, and he doesn't have that many seasons left in his career. They just kind of robbed him. Like, I know he did technically do a 2K if you count the postseason, but in actual like season-long records, he had a 1,900 and something season, and he should have had a 2,000-yard season. That's all. But
Barkley should have too.
Yeah,
Barkley should have broke Dickerson's record.
No, you're right, and he should have broken his own record in that one game against the Giants, and for some reason he held back.
Yeah, Swift, Harris, those guys kind of like, we don't even know where they're going to be playing yet. But yeah, I feel like you're going to have to fade them because you don't even know what they're going to be.
How about Javonte and honorable mention Javonte and Zamir White? I'm just laughing because they were both hyped up again this offseason, and then nothing happened.
I like Javonte if he gets a good landing spot.
Yeah, the best I'm going to be honest. One of the best, not for a starter, but if you're going to tell me he can't be a starter and I have to pick one team for him to be the handcuff, Niners. Because Christian McCaffrey is going to get hurt, and then the Niners just know how to use any running back, no matter who it is. Or the Raiders. Do that in division thing where a team sees somebody play for a couple of years, and then they're like, hey, I want that guy.
I got a surprise for the wide receivers.
Right on. I got one more.
It's going to be super funny.
I'll do one more. I'm just going to go ahead and just fade on Jaylen Warren because he doesn't have a right. I know he's technically a free agent right now, but what's going to happen is most likely the Steelers are going to re-sign him. They're not going to re-sign Najee Harris, and then everybody's going to like get all up on Jaylen Warren and act like he's going to be something. They're going to pretend he's going to be Kamara. They're going to pretend he's going to be Christian McCaffrey. They're going to pretend he's going to be this amazing beast who's catching passes, running through people, who's explosive, and they're going to overhype him to be drafted way too high in redraft and in dynasty startups. And I'm just going to pump the brakes on that right now and say I have no interest in that at all. I don't want to touch him. I have a little pieces of everybody everywhere, so like I'm satisfied. I'll get to play him somewhere. Worst case scenario, if he does, I'm cool. But I'm not drafting him. Fuck that. I'm good.
Depends where he lands.
I'm totally set on him. I don't think he's that good. He's that guy who you want on your team for when the guy ahead of him gets hurt, so that he can give you 1 to 3 weeks of points, and then the other guy comes back and immediately steals the job back. That's what Jaylen Warren is for the rest of his career. To me, I could be wrong. I'm never going to say that I know everything, but I'm just saying, like, that's how I feel right now.
My turn. Wide receivers.
Okay.
Every wide receiver over the age of 30.
Okay.
That's what I'm
You
favoring.
can't do that. You gotta say one by one. You want to use all yours on those guys, you can, but you can't just say, you can't mass affect everybody.
I just did.
Well, that's no worries. You can't do that.
Mike Evans, Mari Cooper, freaking
Yes.
Adams. Who else is old? Tyreek. That's it. That's where I'm drawing the line there.
5 days ago, Tyreek said he plans on returning to the Dolphins.
I don't believe that for a second.
Who's your number one, though? You can pick everybody over 30. That's cool. Who specifically? Who you got?
Devontae Adams.
That's fair. That's a good one because there's a lot of people who are probably going to listen and be like, oh, of course, but that's not true because when he had some really good games with Rodgers this year, so there's going to be people who drafted too high next year.
Well,
there's definitely going to be people who are
little
like,
news. I don't think we covered now that you mentioned him. Rodgers, he will not be back with the Jets next year.
Yes. Oh yeah. You should definitely mention that. And then not only that, but it was reported. I think it was a couple days ago. Yeah, 3 days ago that they were already saying Adams and the Jets are probably going to part ways. So I think there's a chance that Rodgers is going to try to go somewhere and Adams is just going to try to follow.
And I heard they both want to go back to the West Coast. So
who would even? Can you imagine if they got rid of Brock Purdy and then the Niners tried to get?
No, I don't think he'd want to go back to Vegas. Devontae. Yeah.
No, I didn't say Vegas.
No, I did. Seattle.
Oh, sorry. I was saying the Niners if they got rid of Purdy. But I don't think they're going to get rid of Purdy.
Yeah, well, they already tried that though, Hitman. The Adams experiment.
Oh yeah. I don't know. He doesn't want to go back there. I can't think of any other team on the West Coast that needs a quarterback.
Rams, if they get rid of
Rams, if they get rid of Stafford, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Rams, if they get rid of Stafford, they sign Devontae Adams and they have Puka and Devontae Adams. That would actually might be okay. It won't. I don't think it'll be elite, but it'll be okay.
Honestly, I think if you could, swap out Adams and Cup, that would be better for the Rams.
No, it would be because they already said they want to get rid of Cup.
No, that's what I'm saying. So if you left Rodgers out of this deal and put Adams on the Rams, that would be better for the Rams, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it won't be. It'll be Stafford and Cup will be gone. Yeah, no, I can see that. I'm gonna go with my fade. Very, very easy. Right now, he is ranked number 7 on Sleeper for Dynasty rankings. Now, he's a very talented wide receiver. He's a very talented athlete. I personally just don't want to deal with the roller coaster anymore. I don't want to deal with the what ifs. I don't want to deal with what are they going to do at quarterback. I'm completely set on Garrett Wilson. I want nothing to do with him. And in fact, if anybody listening to this wants Garrett Wilson and you believe in him, then trade for him. He's a great athlete. If you think they're going to have an awesome quarterback, I'm going to trade him for what he's worth. He is ranked the number 7 Dynasty wide receiver. That's not my point. I'm not trying to get rid of him for, peanuts. I'm not saying I hate him. I'm just personally sick of the up and down, of the what if, of the is he going to have a good quarterback this year? We just talked about, but that's why I'm glad you brought this up because it segued right into, you said they're not bringing Aaron Rodgers back. I love the talent of Garrett Wilson. I don't want to deal with the stress of not knowing if he has a good quarterback or not. Now, some people think he's quarterback impervious, like he's going to be good no matter what. If you truly think that, like Hitman just said in the chat, then reach out to me and trade for him. But I'm not going to give him away for nothing. Don't hit me up and be like, oh, you said you don't like him. That's not what I'm saying. I love Garrett Wilson as a wide receiver. I don't.
Wilson needs, though, is to be spammed.
Yes.
When they brought in Aaron, Devontae Adams.
Yes.
And
he started getting spammed.
Alan Lazard game when he brought in all his boys. That's when freaking Garrett Wilson shit the bed. Before that, Garrett Wilson was fine with shit quarterbacks. And
I listen, that's fine. But he can also be traded, yes. But I'm just saying we're talking about who we're fading this year. Me personally, if I'm on the clock and I'm drafting, I'm not drafting Garrett Wilson. That's just me personally. So he's my fade.
Like where
for this year, not for the career. Don't hear what I'm not saying, boys.
Where would you think you would need to draft him?
He's gonna go in the first round, dude.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He is, and I'm not gonna pay that. No, people. I'm telling you around he is because people aren't buying. His ADP is in the first round right now because people aren't buying running backs right now in the first round. So the wide receivers are getting spammed in the first round. That's why.
I don't know. I can't do that.
What's his ADP right now? Hold on.
I can't take him in the first either. I mean, I would take him like mid-second to like early third.
Yeah, his ADP is 11.7. So he's going to pick 11 or pick 12.
That's rough.
That's what I'm saying. He's going in between A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley.
That's a little high.
That's what I'm saying.
Especially when you don't know what his quarterback is. But he is still young, very young. So. Well,
bro, that's regular PPR rankings. That's not even TCR where people are going to see the projected and they're going to see it even higher because of big play and all that other stuff. And they're going to be like, oh, and they're probably going to grab him even higher.
True.
Yeah. Because in the ADP, they have Breece Hall above Garrett Wilson. And in a lot of our startups with people we know, I think Garrett Wilson would actually go higher because of how bad Breece did.
Yeah, that's the another person I'm kind of worried about. But, I mean, he should be fine. That's an offensive line thing and an Aaron Rodgers thing. I think Aaron Rodgers really destroyed that team badly. Any kind of, cohesion they had, what the hell's the word? Camaraderie and whatever they had all together, just.
Yep. No, it's true. And not only that, a lot of the thing is that Aaron Rodgers and the actual owner didn't agree, and Aaron Rodgers actually just straight up told him that his kid sucked. That's one of the rumors. Coming to take the game ball from Aaron Rodgers and give it to somebody else, and tell them that you don't want Jerry Jeudy because his Madden rating.
Yeah, that's crazy too.
Yeah, we'll finish up.
Oh, he's gone. PPR, who's my top 3? Wide receivers? Yeah, I know. Oops.
My computer randomly just shut off and it's turned back on. So it'll be like a couple seconds, but I'm just going to stay on this for now so we can keep going. So for my next...
Top 3 players or wide receivers?
Wide receivers.
No, Hitman's asking.
Oh, sorry.
Question.
Sorry about that. I'm just booting up my PC. My PC literally went a blue screen and said, "Sorry, your device ran into an error," and then just shut off and restarted itself.
Oh, like, okay. That happened to mine. Oh, just in general. Just regular PPR. No super flex, just top people.
For me, I don't think I'm putting any running backs in that because of their longevity.
I was gonna say probably like Jefferson still.
Jefferson, Chase, Neighbors. I said it. You watch. Watch, you son of a bitch.
I was gonna say Lamb still. I was gonna say Lamb still.
No, it's Lamb.
Neighbors would be my 4 for sure.
Yeah, because you believe in Dak.
Very little, but he has nobody else to throw the ball.
Well,
to other than Lamb.
What the fuck's going on? Ah!
Sorry. Cool.
Yeah, well, at least I know who's throwing him the ball. I don't know who's throwing Neighbors the ball yet. That's all. It could definitely change. You guys, everybody.
Oh, I'm just kidding. Lamb's the 3. I'm being a smartass because you said you didn't believe in Dak, but it contradicts you not believing in Dak. But also, you said Lamb's gonna be 3. So, like, part of you, even though I know what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing with you. Part of you saying you don't believe in Dak, also should make Lamb fall in your rankings. Theoretically,
not necessarily.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, Lamb still had a great season. Dak wasn't even there.
Yeah, dude, I'm just messing with you. No, those are the top 3, and Neighbors is probably 4. But that being said, Neighbors could sneak into that top 3 easy, especially if they, for some reason, they get Stafford, and he gets the amount of spam that Puka gets. That could be crazy.
That's good.
All right, we'll finish up these last couple real quick. We gotta get going. So all right, so I said Garrett Wilson, and then who did you say next after that? You said Devontae Adams. I said Garrett Wilson. Cooper Kupp. For me,
age, injury, question marks.
Yes, I'm completely fading him on any startups, and I'm just holding him where I have him because you're not going to get any value from him. You're not going to get anything. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think you're doing. I don't care. He is going to get. It's weird. He's going to get way less points than you want him to get, but he's going to get more than you're going to be able to get through a trade for him, like value-wise. He's going to be better as a desperation flex than he's going to be you getting a late second or late third, because nobody's paying a first or second for Cooper Kupp anymore. Nobody at all. He went 0-3, 0-5, 1-3 in like his last whatever games.
It depends. I feel like it depends where he lands.
I'm talking about right now. I agree.
But right now, you're right. You're not getting anything probably.
Yeah, I'm talking right now. Because if he goes to like a team that has no wide receivers or only one wide receiver and he's actually going to get targets, then okay, I'll hear you out. But I agree with you.
I mean, the days of getting a first for him are long gone. You know what I mean? So
yes, even second, it's got to be a late second. Nobody's paying the 114. You know, the 202. Nobody's paying the 14th pick of the draft for Cooper Kupp anymore.
I was thinking like, 205, 20.
Why are you even trading for that?
Just to get a shot on somebody.
Nah.
To be honest with you.
Nah. I don't even do that.
If I'm trading Kupp for a second, it's I have a mission of doing something to the team, which is ripping it the frick down.
That would be the exception. Unless if I'm ripping the team down, I would. If I'm not ripping the team down, I wouldn't. I'd rather just hold on to him. To what you said.
Like
I would want to see where he's going to land.
How I play though, Tomcat, is it's like if I'm not thinking I'm going to compete. Like if
I get that.
Going to make the playoffs.
Oh no, I know.
I'm gonna immediately try and wipe that whole team out.
I get it. I'm just
as I can.
I just want to generalize because I know a lot of the people watching. I don't want them to accidentally hear us say that and then go off and just sell whoever we're down on for pennies because we're fading them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's all relative. And all right, so my next pick would be I am fading. Where'd he go? Get my list. Sorry, I scrolled up. I am fading, and I am sick of this year, but not in Dynasty, Michael Pittman. Again, Anthony Richardson. I yelled, sorry. Anthony Richardson is mediocre, and until he is gone, I do not want Michael Pittman, and I'm scared of every share that I own of him. In our podcast Redraft League, I won partially because of Michael Pittman, and I only partially won because Anthony Richardson was hurt. So I don't know what else to say. When he played, I almost lost, and I almost got eliminated, and I barely won. And when he was out and Joe Flacco played, Pittman got a bunch of points, and I ended up winning. So
like a Hitman said earlier, he heard them said today that they're bringing in competition for Richardson. Yeah, that's what I mean. So you got to think who's out.
Flacco again?
No. I'm thinking they'll bring in like a Darnold, which he said, maybe a Fields.
I was about to say, is Fields still Oh, did you know that
Russell
Wilson is a completely free agent, but he's still posting Steelers stuff?
No, I did not know.
Bro, I follow him for the comedy because he's so cringy, and he literally is posting in his stories that he's excited for next year, that the Steelers are going to go far, and all this other stuff. I should have screenshotted it. It's like him literally like talking the team up as if he's on the team, and it made me check his contract. And I went to Spotrac, and literally it said that he's an undrafted free agent. Or not undrafted free agent, not undrafted, sorry. Unrestricted. He's an unrestricted free agent. Yeah. So it's like, dude, you're not even on the team, and you're getting all excited and acting like you're ready to go, and it's like, ugh. So yeah, Michael Pittman.
I am not fading Jerry Jeudy. He showed us he could actually play football.
I'll fade him until they get a quarterback. Until I know who the quarterback is there, I don't want Njoku, I don't want Jeudy, I don't want anybody.
Next quarterback.
What's that?
I said for all Hitman knows Jameis is the next guy for 1 year.
If that's the case, then cool. But until I know who that quarterback is, I'm not touching.
I feel like they're gonna
bring
in somebody Anybody.
Listen, and if they do, that's cool. We'll bring it back up on the podcast and we'll revisit this. But for right now, I'm fading any Brown receiving target. You do one more, and I'll do one more, and then we'll get out of here.
I don't want to say it, but I feel like this is the year it happens, and it's Mike Evans.
You're wrong, but keep going.
I just feel like it's the time. He barely got his 1,000 this year.
He missed 4 games and got 1,000, but keep going.
I'm done with old wide receivers. It's time. New crops coming in, baby.
Cool. I don't agree with that statement at all, and I love Mike Evans, and he's in redraft. He's going to go later than he should, and I'm going to capitalize again. But hey, we're not going to agree on everyone. My last one. I'm completely off him. Completely off him. Now, why, you ask? Because I should be. Because I said this last year. You guys told me I was wrong. He's had flashes. And you guys are going to tell me I'm wrong again. And then next year, I'm going to say, how many championship teams did you have him on? George Pickens. Done, dude. I'm done. He's a very talented wide receiver. He has emotional moments where he acts like a child and throws temper tantrums. But he's a very talented wide receiver. That being said, we don't know if it's Russ. We don't know if they're drafting a guy. We don't know if they're signing a guy. We don't know if it's Fields again. We don't know who his quarterback is. It's hard to take a wide receiver when you don't know who his quarterback is. But also, you take a guy who's just been so inconsistent. I'm not relying on him. I'm done relying on him. So I'm fading him. He was wide receiver 42. Did he have good games? Yeah, of course he did. He missed 3 games. So his best is 30. So it's like, is he a decent wide receiver if he's already on your team, especially if you're in a multi-flex or a 3 wide receiver league? Yeah, he's a solid guy, But are there going to be weeks that you have somebody on your team that might actually give you more points? Somebody that's not a sexy name, somebody that's like a DeMarcus Robinson when Puka's out, or et cetera, like that might give you more points that week? Yeah, dude. Yeah. So there was weeks where I had stacked teams and I found myself benching George Pickens because I had, honestly, I'm not saying I would do it this year, but we have most of our leagues are tight end premium, half point tight end premium, and there was weeks where I benched George Pickens for guys like Jonnu Smith. So, I'm sorry, he's just not consistent for me.
No, you're right.
So, I'll you guys know that sound. We're going to start wrapping up here. We had a little extra long episode because it was, our season finale, if you would.
So, anybody in the chat, next week, if you want a mock, a rookie mock or something, DM me so we can get that squared away.
I would want to do it if we can fill it. I don't want to do it with auto picks because it's lame. We did it one year just to do it, or last year rather, and it goes by too fast, and a lot of times they take people they shouldn't take, and yeah.
So, other than that, I'm tired and cold.
Well, I'll leave it with this. We're happy the Chiefs did not win the Super Bowl. Stinks it had to be the Eagles to do it, but it's kind of cool that everybody was obsessed with Saquon, but it was Cooper DeJean that was the Super Bowl hero in a way, and that got the pick 6 on his birthday because he shares a birthday. And again, that girl who thought she would make her name and fame off of bragging that she cheated on Cooper DeJean, you are a nasty pig. And sorry about that, guys. Normally we're not a family show, but we're also not that bad. So sorry about that. I saw that today. I saw that probably an hour or two before the pod, and it just really bothered me. She was at a bar bragging about it. But yeah, congratulations to the Eagles. Everybody who tuning into the Redraft show. Shout out. Love that. We're definitely going to continue that. The Redraft show with Pip and Cat will be returning in early August. So that's when we'll start. Maybe late July, but we're aiming early August. But it'll be one or the other, depending on the week we want to start. And we'll start focusing on Redraft again then. But now we are in full Dynasty swing. We'll be talking about Dynasty 100% of the time. We're doing a lot of mocks, a lot of rookies, a lot of Debbie talk, a lot of all that good stuff. We will mention Redraft here or there, but the Redraft show with Pip and Cat will go to sleep until late July, early August, and then season 2 will come out. Season 2 of the 5-Star Dynasty Podcast Live will premiere next week. We are back to weekly. We really didn't have much to talk about. We talked about everything we would have talked about our last show, and then the Super Bowl. We had to wait for the Super Bowl to happen. Once now the Super Bowl's happened, we're ready to go. We're back to weekly.
Yep, time to move. Move it on. Move along.
Moving along. Well, guys, I'm Tomcat. This is Piff. Until next time, just keep playing Dynasty, baby. Always
Peace out,
Dynasty.
homies.